Hi there, folks. This is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming coming back to you today with the third gameplay video in our Gardevoir Gallade series, or Gardelade as I've been calling it. So we are just going to go ahead and hop right on into the queue there. Now, so far we're currently sitting at 3-0, beating out a Zoroark, Magmar, or Marcargo, I think is how you say it. Zoroark, Marcargo, Zoroark, Garbodor, and a Rayquaza deck. And we are sitting pretty good so far. We're looking for an opponent here now, wondering what we might get paired up against. And it looks like today we've gotten paired up against a fighting psychic deck. Now this is likely going to be Buzzgarb or just straight solid Buzzwole. In this case we are going to choose heads again, even though we generally do lose with the coin flip being heads, and we did indeed lose with the coin flip being heads. Now we did manage to win the coin flip last time with a heads call, so I guess we just hoped too hard to have a follow-up there. Now we do get the ability here now to do a turn 1 Lele to go for Bridget and then still have a draw supporter the following turn. So while we are going to be going second here, we do have a pretty good combination of stuff that's going to help us mess with our opponent's day. The best top deck we could hope for would be likely a Gardevoir, and it does look like we're going to be against Buzzwole Lycanroc here. So they are going to be starting off with an energy on the Buzzwole and not doing a whole lot of much else. So what I think we want to do here now is we're going to go for the Lele Tutor, and we're going to see what we have prized here. So right now we have, let's see, a Bridget is prized, so we can mark that off as prized. We have all of our ends. It looks like 2 of our Sycamores are prized, which isn't good for us. That's one of our key draw supporters. We have all of our Ralts, all of our Curlias, all the Gardevoirs, Gallades, the Mewtwo, and a Rangaroo. We have one of our rare candies in hand, so one of our rare candies is prized. We have a Parallel City in hand. It looks like one of our DCEs is prized. And we have all of our energy. So we have our Cynthia there. I'm not sure what else we have that could be prized here. We seem to have checked off everything on the list, but we're going to go for the Bridget here either way. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and Bridget here. We're going to go for Ralts, and a Mewtwo, because Mewtwo can mess with our opponent's days, and I think it's the Guzma. So one of our 2 Guzmas is prized. So we're going to just Bridget it up here. We're going to go ahead and put an energy on the Ralts to have it ready for next turn. And we're going to throw down a Parallel City preemptively here, make them play around a lack of bench space, and just make them think harder on what they want to invest here. Now, on our turn, I think what we want to do is throw the Curlia down on a Ralts. We don't really want to go much further than that. We do have to be careful with our benching here to make sure that a Lycanroc is not going to be able to KO us. We're going to go ahead and throw down a DCE on this Ralts, evolve this into a Curlia, and we're going to Cynthia here. For the Cynthia, we did hit a Gardevoir, which we can use next turn. We are going to be losing the Ralts here, though, and we don't want to be getting our opponent out of the card stuckness that they have right now. Now, we will still be close to KOing the Buzzwole, but we would want to draw maybe a rare candy here, would probably be the best bet. And we are controlling our bench pretty well here as well. We might throw the DCE on the Mewtwo. That is going to be hitting for 60 against, or rather 80 against the Buzzwole, the baby Buzzwole that they have up here now. They did put a second energy on the Rockruff, and they are going to be taking a KO with the Sledgehammer here. So let's go ahead and we're going to promote the Curlia here because we know for a fact we are going to be able to attack with the Curlia. So let's throw our Gardevoir down here now. We're going to attach a DCE. We're going to Secret Spring an energy onto the active Gardevoir, and then we're sadly going to Sycamore and discard a Sycamore as well. We're not hitting them with an N because we don't want them to get away from the prizes that they have. And hitting the rare candy here plus Gardevoir is actually sick for us, because that means we're going to be able to hit the exact numbers that we want to be able to KO this active Buzzwole. So we're going to go ahead here now. We're going to Infinite Force, just KOing that Buzzwole, getting it out of here, taking a prize. And we're sitting happily right now at 5 prizes taken, or rather 5 prizes remaining. So a follow-up baby Buzzwole doesn't quite do it. They're not going to be able to straight KO with a Rockruff, but they will be able to get a good bit of damage onto the Gardevoir. Now, right now, we're sitting at 180 damage because we have 6 combined energies between the active. We can bring it up to 210 by attaching a fairy energy if we so want, but our opponent is going to end us here, so we're going to see what we have in our hand after this end and see whether or not it's going to be enough to just deal quite a bit of damage to our opponent. And they end up scooping it up. They don't get out of the situation. I'm assuming they likely didn't have another basic as a follow-up there, and we were going to be straight KOing on their Rockruff there to be able to take the win, even if they did evolve it into a Lycanroc and force up one of our other Pokemon. We had energy there for days to be able to force it on to one of the other Pokemon via Secret Spring to just get it out of the active, retreat, and take the KOs. So with that only being a 6-minute game, we are going to hop back into our queue here right away now, just for a second quick game, hopefully. Likely it might either be a quick concession, is what we're hoping for, to keep this video's time a little bit down. But we did get an immediate pair up here again, and it looks like we're going to be against a Psychic Electric deck. So I'm curious as to what this is going to be. We're going to be calling heads here, and we won the flip, so we've been having a bit better luck here with the heads today. So I will happily take the first turn, because the first evolution is pretty key with this deck overall. We do have a Ralts start here, a Ultra Ball to be able to go for something as needed, and we do have the natural Lele to be able to go for the Bridgets here too. So we do get to have a good fair setup here on our side, at least on our first turn, and subsequently evolving into Curlion going from there. Oh, with that Ultra Ball and the rare candy, we might just go straight for Gardevoir Evolution here. So let's go ahead and throw down our Tapu Lele, and let's start checking our prizes. So it does look like we have a Bridget prized here to start. We are going to select the Bridget here anyways. It does look like we have an N and a Sycamore both prized. We have all of our Ralts. One of our Curlias is in our hand, so that checks that box off. We have our Glades, Gardevoirs, Mewtwo, Oranguru, Lele's. It looks like one of our rare candies is prized here. We have one of our Ultra Balls prized. We have one of our Parallel Cities in our hands. Yes. So it looks like one of our Choice Bands is prized here. We have all of our DCE and all of our Fairy Energies. So that is all 6 of our prizes checked off there. So let's grab the Bridget here. We're going to throw the Bridget down, go for a few Ralts. And I'm wondering if we go for the Oranguru here. If they're a Trubbish Garbodor deck, they're likely going to have Garbotoxin to be able to shut down our abilities a bit. So I think I'd rather go for the Mewtwo here for the Psychic weakness if they do try to suit something up. Now I will go ahead and attach an energy to this Ralts from hand and throw down a Parallel City to restrict their bench space. And then next turn we're likely going to use the Ultra Ball to discard, say, whatever we draw, plus maybe a energy. We're not exactly sure what we're going to go for here. And we do see the Shrine of Punishment coming down here, which will start putting turnly damage on to our Pokemon here. And I'm sad to lose our Ralts here to this Latios. Now, we will be able to evolve into Gardevoir and be able to take some damage onto this Latios right off the bat here. So let's see what we draw. We actually had a Sycamore here. So what I think we do here now instead is we Ultra Ball discarding the energy and the Curlia. We're going to go for one of our Gardevoirs. We're going to Rare Candy Gardevoir onto the Ralts. just to get it into serious damage range here. Then we're going to follow up with a Sycamore, and our opponent's going to scoop it up. So we did thankfully make it another quick game there. I won't make it into a third here, as we're already at a decent length of time here for this video. It was a pretty scoopy fashion on their side here. They didn't have any kind of draw supporter. They were likely trying to get some early KOs there and hoping that we would get stuck, but we had the perfect hand to be able to go for full Gardevoir and then fill our hand again with full 7 cards with no discard off the Sycamore. So we had a pretty nutty hand there. We were able to show the strength of Gardevoir pretty well there. So right now, we are sitting at a current 5-0 across our 3 gameplay videos with Gardevoir overall. It is still showing itself to be a remarkably strong deck, though our opponents have been scooping pretty early to some pretty bad setups on their side, so hopefully we'll be able to continue either taking advantage of that, or at the very least get to show you some good games overall. With that said, we do always greatly appreciate your viewership here at 8Badge Gaming. We love interacting with you guys, seeing what you have to say about the decks, even getting your deck suggestions overall. Always feel free to keep us in the loop with any new tech that you might see people running, any interesting deck ideas you'd like to see us tech and play, or anything that you'd like to see us do overall. We are going to be continuing with another gameplay video with the Gardevoir Gallade deck for tomorrow, as well as our deck review. And starting next week, it'll be another callback deck for us. We'll be going back to one of Mike Pinn's early decks, which he enjoyed quite thoroughly. We're going to get him to update it for the current meta and what currently is available in Standard as a whole, while Celestial Storm and everything else is legal. And then we're going to roll it on back to see how the games will go with that deck itself. Now, thank you again for tuning in, and this is Adam with 8Badge Gaming, signing off.